All right, so this is episode 5 with my father. We are doing the, there it is, Life Stories interview kit. This is Raymond Anthony DeVito. This is episode 5, like I said. All right, so we are still on the early life cards. Which primary school did you attend and what type of school was it? So I guess you're going to have a couple there, right?
Yeah. My first 3 years were in St. Peter and Paul. It was in East Liberty along Larimer Avenue, and it was a German American church. Churches were more nationalities back then, and the Italian American church, for whatever reason, my mother and dad chose not to send me there. But I was at St. Peter and Paul first 3 years.
All right. And then when you moved to Penn Hills?
Well, let me go on.
Sorry.
Then I went from St. Peter and Paul to Mother of Good Counsel. In Mother of Good Counsel, I was there for 4th and 5th grade. And that was the place that the nuns that Sister Lucy belonged to taught at.
Okay.
That was also the time when we were moving from Winslow Street, and my dad was building a home. So a lot of the times, I'd be at school and he would pick me up afterwards and so on. And then from 6th grade, I went to Washington Elementary School in Penn Hills. 1 year. And then junior high, Penn Junior, 7, 8, 9, and the senior high school, 10, 11, 12.
Cool. Alrighty. Describe your favorite family holidays.
That's one to think about. Probably Christmas.
Yeah.
Because Christmas was always lots of presents and lots of good food and all of that. So
Still is, right? Hasn't changed.
no.
Did your family have any pets?
Oh, sure. When we first moved to Winslow Street, or Rodi Road, in our newly built house by my dad, we had 2 pets. We had a cat named Puny and a dog named Brownie. We had 2 pets. And of course, I have to remind everyone of the Puny story. We were living in the basement for a few weeks before the house was completed. And so we would go upstairs, and with Puny, my brother and I decided we wanted to see if it was true the cats always landed on their feet. So we tossed Puny from the first floor down to the basement. Unfortunately, she didn't land on her feet. She hit her head, and we thought she was dead. Arcangelo was visiting. He went, looked at Puny, and said, "Morte, she's dead." So he took her and he threw her across the creek on Rodi Road into the woods in the hill behind. And my brother and I, after getting over the loss of Puny, went out and were playing baseball. And we're playing baseball in the backyard, and we're hearing a meow, meow. and it was puny. She wasn't killed, she was just knocked out. So we had Puny a little longer. All of our pets, we had a lot of dogs. Almost all of them were killed on Rodi Road. Many of them by buses that traveled on Rodi.
Yeah.
But we always had a dog, and we only had a dog and a cat early on, I recall. Okay. My favorite pet was Prince. Prince was unreal. He was black and white. He was a mongrel, but he loved baseball. And he would grab the ball when we weren't playing, bring it over to me or Bob, and drop it at our feet, telling us, come on, let's play. And we would. And he was amazing because he loved to go after the ball. We could hit it over the creek and he'd go over there and get it. He also liked to catch line drives. And so he had a few cracked teeth because of that.
He would jump up and grab them?
He would jump up and grab it in his mouth, and he'd go ass end over teacups. But he loved it.
That's funny.
But he was quite a dog.
Funny. All right, let's go on here. Secondary school, you already talked about that you went to Penn
Right.
Hills. And you would later be a teacher and administrator there.
Right. Spent a lot of time at Penn Hills High School.
For sure. All right. So I guess a lot of this has to do with that too. What hobbies and interests did you have during your teenage years?
Okay. My first hobby was preteen. I was a stamp collector. And then later on, I got interested in coins later in life. I couldn't afford coins early on, and stamps were a lot cheaper. But I had a stamp book, and I got into coins. Now I got into ancient coins because the love of my life, Jacqueline, knew I loved history and knew I loved Roman history, and she got me some coins, which I still have today, or I should say Pete has today. But they got me started, and I loved the hobby very much. I loved it.
And well, I'm going to take these out of order here. So this one's what were your favorite subjects? So you kind of already touched on that.
Yeah, of course, history. I loved history. I loved Roman history. Even though I loved Roman history, I never took a course on Roman history. I took courses on American history, French Revolution, Latin America, you name it. But I never had the opportunity to take Roman history. But my son did.
Yeah, I
Pete.
did. All right. So favorite subjects. We did the hobbies. Did you make good friends?
Oh, I made very good
Yeah,
friends.
we kind of talked about that last time.
Yeah, we did.
But,
We talked before.
yeah. All right. Did any teacher make a big impression on you, positive or negative? I know what's coming.
Oh, of course. I never knew I wanted to be a teacher until I had Tom Bond. And I had Tom Bond for world history, 10th grade, and I had him again for American history. And he was such a fantastic teacher. He was a very bright man, and he made history come alive. and I got inspired. I thought maybe I want to be a teacher, and I did.
You're just answering my questions before I can get to them. This next one was, did you know what you wanted to do when you were older, and how did you feel about the future? So that's cool. You answered.
I did answer it.
All right. How did your views and opinions change during this time of your life?
This time of my life?
Yeah, or maybe as you got into college even.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me tell you how it changed. My attitude on the Vietnam War changed drastically. Early on, being ex-military and a veteran, I thought it was right that we were there. And I thought we were fighting communists, and I bought the whole bag of, nonsense. Later on, as the war dragged on, as it got worse and worse, I rethought the Vietnam War and decided we didn't have to be there and shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But I changed drastically there. And I remembered, I thought I was very nationalistic, supporting it, but I realized I was equally nationalistic when I opposed it, because it was a messy situation.
Right. So this is high school and kind of segue into college here. Were you part of a sports team, or did you attend extracurricular activities?
I earned a letter in football. I was a lineman, believe it or not, 165-pound right guard. I could travel fast, and I was the pulling guard. I also ran track. Let me qualify that. I participated in track. I didn't run. Running was not my forte. I threw discus in track, and I was pretty good at that. So I had 2 letters, football and track.
And you had some guy come talk to you about playing in college, right?
Oh, scared the daylights out of me. It's after a football game, and a man comes, or they come and they say, "Hey Ray, somebody wants to talk to you." So he introduced himself, and he was a coach, and I don't remember where he was coaching, but he said they were looking at me it was my junior year, after my senior year, maybe for a scholarship. Scared the hell out of me, because I did not think I would be a college football player, and of course I wasn't. He vanished in the night somewhere. I never saw him my senior year.
Yeah.
Or maybe he became realistic that I was not college caliber right guard.
Tell me about the boot.
The boot.
Yeah.
Oh. We had a coach. His name was Bruce Fisher. He later became the athletic director. And he was our coach in our senior year. And Bruce Fisher nicknamed the Bull, because he always talk about gotta have a bull neck. And he explained that the bull neck saved his life a couple of times in an auto accident. He also was quite a character. He had hydrotherapy a very unique way. You had a knee or ankle injury, you were to go to the shower, put on the hottest water you could stand, and let the boot fill up and flow with the hot water.
And it was an old fireman's boot?
It was an old, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't say. It was an old fireman's boot. And it was up, it was above your knees. So anyhow, the funny part of that is in one game, and when I was on the junior varsity, it was against Brentwood, and I made what I thought was a beautiful cross-body tackle on a kickoff. I took the guy down and I, like a fool, let him get up first, and he gave me an elbow in the nose. I bled profusely. I could still see the blood all over my gold uniform, and I'm laying on the ground thinking I'm dead. And along comes my coach, Carl Schmidtke. He was a college player, and he had a broken nose. He came out, and he didn't offer me any sympathy. He said, "Hey, Ray, you're going to have a nose just like mine now." But anyhow.
And all your teammates told you?
My teammates showed me a lot of sympathy. When they found out about my nose, they all said, "Hey, Ray, put it in the boot, put it in the boot." That was whatever problem you had, you put in the boot. That was their joke, of course.
Right. All right, anything else you want to say about Penn Hills?
No. Penn Hills was where I started and where I finished, and I have nothing but good to say about Penn Hills.
Right.
They fed my family throughout my career, thanks to employing me, and no regrets at all about Penn Hills.
All right. So, which college did you attend and what did you study? You've kind of talked about this.
I attended the University of Pittsburgh. That was Tom Bond's school, and he wouldn't let me even apply to any other school. And I knew that my mother and dad wouldn't want me to go to somewhere. I know my mother would never let me leave the house. And if I went to Pitt, I could travel to Pittsburgh every day with a bunch of close friends. We motored daily. And as a result, at Pitt, early on, I was introduced to my wife by a Penn Hills classmate. And we later ended up in a biology class together, started dating and so on. Oh, the first date we had, we went to a movie. And we went to a movie with Elvis Presley. And it was a movie we'll never forget, because neither I nor my wife were Elvis Presley fans. But we kept waiting to see, where's Elvis? And finally there's a scene where this guy is plowing land with a mule. And who do you think the plowman was? It was Elvis. And we cracked up. We just thought that was the funniest thing.
All right, well, one more.
I think it was Love Me Tender was the movie.
Love Me Tender, okay. One more here. I'm gonna kind of combine. Can't talk two here. What are your favorite memories from your college years and your closest friends or any of that?
Okay. My closest friends in college, beside the love of my life, Jacqueline, were Rennie Brissenden, and Barry Hopkins. Barry Hopkins, I just got in touch with him
Yeah.
recently.
Talked about that.
But anyhow, those two were both in my wedding party. Now, I had other friends. I still had some friends from college. But after high school, or from high school,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
we sort of went our separate ways. And we weren't buddies that were out every night. So the two that I was most close to when I was in college were Rennie and Barry. Both unfortunately deceased. No, Barry's not. Rennie just recently deceased.
You're killing Barry off too soon.
Pardon?
You're killing Barry off too soon.
Yeah, I sure am.
All right, and then Mama, of course, you guys met, and that's
Oh,
where that
yes.
started.
The love of my life was there, and I love Pitt for that. Other than that, I was ambiguous about Pitt.
Right.
But that's where I met the love of my life. And we spent a lot of good years together.
Yeah. All right.
While at Pitt, let me add
No, go
this.
ahead. Yeah.
I was a history major, and Jackie was a biology major. So we always liked to be in the same class together. I would take a lot of biology classes, and she would take a lot of history classes. So I ended up with a double major, although my biology major was not as good as my history, because I just had barely enough to be considered a major.
Right.
But that was because of Jackie.
Right.
We
Yeah.
were in classes together.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, we got to college here, and this is like the early life ones are done, so we'll start hitting the other questions in the
All
next
right,
episode.
good.
Let's go eat.
Let's go eat. All right.